So how about that Matt Gaetz, eh?
Oh yeah, this was the Republican representative that they say had a relationship with a 17-year-old. That was the story.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
He's being investigated by the DOJ.
One of his I think it was his top advisor or something like that, or one of his like deputy people in his little group. They were like, "See ya."
Oh yeah, they started dipping.
They did that Ripley into the vat.
ASAP started just skirty.
Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida could be in deeper and more serious legal trouble than previously reported, and now his communications director has resigned. A source tells NBC News the senior
terrible
staffer
photo.
quit out of principle.
He looks terrible.
This bizarre drama.
He looks like
Looks
the
like
bad
a
guy
Who.
from.
He looks like a Who from fucking The Grinch.
He looks like that bad guy from that show.
For possible sex trafficking and an alleged sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl. The lawmakers
What state is he from?
family denied the allegations
Florida.
against him.
Oh,
Here's
I was gonna
NBC's
say,
Hallie
you know,
Jackson.
the age of consent is 17
This
in a lot of
morning,
different
new
states.
allegations about Republican
That's why there's no
Congressman
charges
Matt
against him.
Gaetz, a report
There's
of
not a
Justice
single
Department
charge against this guy. It's all
investigation
just
focusing on Gaetz
Yeah,
and an indicted Florida
accusations and stuff.
politician.
Well, he's
They
indicted. You can't be indicted unless they bring up charges.
I mean, well, they're just investigating him though, so that's
Yeah,
the
there's
thing,
an
it's like-
investigation. There's no sort of like criminal charges or anything like
There's
that.
some
This
like
is all-
audio records and stuff that are really sketch where they're just like, fucking right in the pussy, you know, like type of shit where they're really.
I'm not saying he won't get in trouble or be found guilty of something. It's just if you listen to their language too, the whole first part is just like there could be some more trouble brewing on the horizon for a embattled, possibly you know.
I mean, can you be indicted for things that aren't criminal charges? I didn't know that.
Well, the criminal charge is prostitution, so they're saying like he's been flying girls out, you know, and he's like, look, you know, getting a girl a hotel and a plane ticket to come see me, you know, consensually is not like illegal, but they're also saying that there was like, I give you $1,000 type shit too.
Yeah, there was lots of accusations.
But it's mostly just him getting on the internet and like finding bitches and being like, come out, fuck with me and my homies, you know, and then being like, oh, okay. And he's like, I'll put you up, you know, and shit like that.
There's also people in Congress who were saying that he would show them naked photos on his phone. There's
On the
one guy
floor,
that was
yeah.
like, yeah, he tried to show me this video of a girl like doing a hula hoop naked, and then he would quote boast about his sexual conquest.
Look at this bitch I fucked last night.
Yeah, he's like, check out this naked bitch I fucked last night, and they're like, Matt Gaetz, you're not Hunter Biden.
Incorrect. In this country, everyone ought to have the opportunity to succeed. I don't care what color you are, where you come from, what you believe, or who you love. America should be a place where everyone is welcome to make their contribution. And the fact that you might be white does not make you a bad person in the United States of America. Yes, ma'am.
He's wearing these sunglasses addressing this crowd. He's already looks like a douchebag.
That's just everything about him's got douchey energy.
Girls, sorry, Jim, I'm sorry. And as you know, it's time to just really eliminate that with men deciding that they want to be women and run in that direction. You never know. Now I have a rant on.
Okay, so we got a transgender question
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
I heard it.
So the question is about the attack on women's sports that we see going on right now. And I don't get this. When I was in school, it would not have been viewed as a positive thing if the boys wanted to play girls' sports. That would have subjected you to ridicule, and perhaps rightfully so. But now it's more than a joke. It is a deprivation of opportunity for women. You know, my sister got a great deal out of women's sports. She played softball at Choctawhatchee High School, and it gives young women a sense of agency and ambition and self-esteem that's really important. And I don't understand why more women in America aren't fighting against this transgendered agenda that doesn't really seem
Where
to
are
be
all the
about treating
TERFs?
people fairly and
Where are all
honestly,
my
but
trans-exclusive
about
radical feminists?
shifting the whole matrix of how we design athletic competition and
Science.
employment. I don't think anybody
But you don't know
should
anything
be
about
so-
science.
Don't know about science.
Stop fucking shaking your head.
I think we should be nice to everyone. But that does not mean that we should have men dressing up like women in the women's bathrooms, in the women's locker rooms, and taking spots that should be reserved for women.
He said, are you scared yet? All your little girls are going to get raped. Get scared.
Not a single black person in America.
Where? What?
The question is, what are we doing about closing the border and coming up with real immigration policy? I actually thought Trump had immigration right. We should evaluate immigration based on whether or not that immigration is beneficial to our country.
What are you going to do for me, poor person from Guatemala escaping gang violence?
Yeah.
What are you going to do for me?
No safe
I got some
haven here.
apples for you to pick.
Community stronger, and I'm glad we have them. They should come legally. They should follow the law. They should learn English. Don't care if that's politically incorrect. This is a country where we speak English. I think that's an important part of saying that you want to be an American. When my son came over from Cuba,
This is where we speak the language of another country. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? English isn't even our language.
Oh, that's fucking great.
we get rid of catch and release, and if you have an asylum claim, you can make that claim. And we're the most generous country in the world when it comes to asylum, but you can await that claim in your home country or in a safe third country, not here in the United States of America. And then I do think...
Go somewhere else for a few years, and then we'll get back to you.
Our court that's currently 6 years backed up, wait for it.
They're getting paid under the table, and oftentimes they're suppressing wages of our fellow Americans. So a legal immigration system where we start from the proposition that we don't do immigration to help other countries or to help other workers, we do immigration to help our people.
Does not address amnesty or any sort of, like, any of the facts of, like, the 15 million illegal immigrants are already here.
Just all doucheness. Just doucheness. I mean, look at him.
I want to know what his charges are because I didn't really super pay attention to everything that came out against him.
Like I said, it's just prostitution and
Yeah, as soon as you said his buddies, like, come fuck with me and my homies, I'm like, well, that could look
yeah, because then it
pretty
was
bad,
like it was
yeah.
like I fuck them, and then he was like, hey, will you also fuck my homie? And then they're like, yeah, I guess so.
I mean, what are you gonna say, no, and then get kicked out of your hotel room and have no flight home? Like, it was-
Yeah, exactly. Like, as soon as you put up a fight, he's like, well, we got the Greyhound bus leaving in 45 minutes.
yeah. And this is why, women, I would like to just speak to you directly for a second. Don't let the guy pay for all of your shit when you go visit him, because then he has an enormous amount of leverage over you. And you might not think about that consciously, but subconsciously it will play into your decisions when you're interacting with this male.
I've seen this.
If they come out, like, if you come out, do it on your own dime. Like, if you really want to see this man, pay your own money, get your own plane ticket, round trip, get your own hotel room, and then, you know, meet him in a public space somewhere. And if it's feeling good, then you can go back to the hotel room, go back to his place or whatever. But don't let him have all the control over your situation. Like, this is not a good idea.
I thought you were going to say, go back to his hotel room, fuck him, fuck his buddies.
Hey, look, if you want to fuck his buddies, I don't give a fuck what you. All I'm saying is you're putting yourself in a bad position.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
no,
also, weren't there expensive gifts involved? Wasn't it like
I heard like exchange of like $1,000, like they mean like I get $1,000 type shit, and that's why they're getting them on the prostitution.
Yeah, well, it's not looking good.
Yeah,
I didn't know anything about this. Like, I guess I had heard that I'd seen some video maybe on YouTube as I was scrolling through saying like GOP rep in sex scandal, and it just doesn't register to me anymore because I'm like, yeah. You mean these scuzzbags that are our politicians are doing scuzzbag shit? Who would have thought?
They get caught up all the time. You know, it's like it's real.
And they're so
like
blatant with it,
like locker room kind of.
Yeah,
like
you're talking about him showing them like photos on the thing, and I'm like, have these people need to go to criminality 101 class. You don't do that. You don't go around flashing your fucking drug money. You don't go around to your fellow congressmen and women showing them pictures of naked bitches doing hula hoops in hotel rooms that you paid for. Like, hey, I'll let you keep this diamond encrusted hula hoop if you let me film you using it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, keep that shit to yourself.
But that's the whole part of it. It's not just about fucking the girls and stuff. It's about the ego. It's about the, like, look how cool I am. Yeah, it's like I'm cool because I do these things, you know. And then that's the part that gets.
Not to mention, like they said,
whack.
you know, this is they say teen girl, so that
I did hear that too. Yeah,
they're pushing you in that direction of like, is it underage? Was it sex trafficking? Where's Ghislaine Maxwell and all of this?
Yeah, they do. They say sex trafficking and stuff like that too. You know, and it's weird how these investigations go down sometimes too, because they are less about an investigation and more just about like smearing you through the news and shit. So
they just take your face,
ruin just ruin everything that you got going on, regardless of your
almost
guilty.
every time there's some truth in that smudging of the face.
For sure.
You know, there's some actual fuck shittery, but it's like, is he going to court? You know, like it says, I haven't seen anything in these scrolls about like files, charges.
They just said they're opening an investigation, and that's my point. It's like all they said was we're looking into this, and everybody's like, oh, get them, you know. And then like he said too, I mean, a politician's kind of held to a different standard, so I get it. But dude, I hang out in like the music industry and stuff. You know how many times you've like be trying to fly a girl out from the gram or some shit like that? Like that's kind of common, you know, especially in the day where you can interact and meet people on the internet
these days.
Yeah, you know, like you said, if she's of age and she wants to come fuck with you and stuff, and you being like, all right, cool, I got your plane, I got your hotel, you know, just pull up. There's nothing really wrong with that as far as I can see, you know what I'm saying? But again, like you being a politician,
the purpose,
they're like, did he use campaign money for that? And it's like, oh,
that could be, you know, very serious. But I guess that's the thing is like, because politics has divulged now into this like character game, and it's all about the people rather than the policies. If you can find out that your opponent is doing some, maybe not illegal, but some super shady shit where he's like acting like a 30-year-old, like he's acting like a 17-year-old rapper, like flying bitches out.
SoundCloud rapper.
Like, then
I mean, it's not
smear him in the news.
It's something that you can use as a weapon for voters at the ballot box, because people don't vote based on policy. They vote based on what you look like, you know, who you are. They vote who you are, not what you think.
That's what they're gonna get him.
At Michael J.
This is gonna be quality. I can feel it.
It's good.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
I'm Colin Jost. Representative Matt Gaetz, who looks like a caricature artist drawing of me, is reportedly under investigation for an alleged sexual relationship with an underage girl because Gaetz believes that only voters should have to show ID. It's also being reported that Gaetz may have paid for sex with women he met online. That story has since been confirmed by his whole vibe. Gaetz then defended himself, releasing this very normal statement. See if any of it sounds suspicious to you. Matt Gaetz has never paid for sex. Matt Gaetz has never, ever been on any such websites whatsoever. Matt Gaetz cherishes the relationships in his past and looks forward to marrying the love of his life. Here's my response statement. Colin Jost does not believe you. Colin Jost thinks you've been to all the websites. And Colin Jost thinks you should hold off on sending out those wedding invites.
President Biden unveiled his $2 trillion infrastructure plan, which some Democrats are calling the New Deal. But I thought we weren't allowed to make fun of his stutter. Biden plans to pay for his infrastructure plan by raising taxes on corporations and the wealthy, which, yeah, sounds like a great idea, but it leaves me with one big question. How do I hide my money?
And if I could get back to Matt Gaetz for a minute. Here's the craziest part of this story to me. A sitting congressman is being accused of child trafficking, and the QAnon people are suddenly like, nah, I need more evidence. That was your whole thing. I mean, come on, think about it. Matt Gaetz' girlfriend, she was allegedly 17. The 17th letter is Q. It all adds up.
I mean, he hit it on a couple levels there.
This Joe's guy is finally here, and QAnon is like, you can't believe everything you read on the internet. Delta Airlines, which is based in Atlanta, publicly criticized Georgia's new restrictive voting laws. And you know you messed up when Delta is like, hey, you got to treat people with respect.
So woke. President Biden is reportedly determining if he has the legal authority to cancel student debt through an executive order. Come on, man, just do it. I think the country can afford one reckless action after 4 years of President Kool-Aid Man.
Speaking of, Donald Trump and Melania Trump have launched a website dedicated to, quote, preserving the magnificent legacy of the Trump administration. And it will honor the most lasting part of Trump's legacy by giving your computer an uncontrollable virus.
Quick question, actually. Hold on. He said that he was talking about doing it with an executive order to just like erase all the student debt.
Yes.
So then, like, if in a hypothetical, let's say Trump gets reelected in 2024 or some shit like that, could he just make another executive order? Be like, yeah, fuck that. We're putting that debt back in. Like,
guess what, everybody?
We still got the receipts. You owe that goddamn money.
No refunds. No refunds.
Because if you do it with an executive order, then there's no legal staying power to it. Because then the next guy could just come in and redo it. But the only reason that it was curious to me was I was like, oh, how would you do that? Like, if you erase debts for 4 years with an executive order, could you then reinstate them with an executive order? Like, do they just burn the files on that?
He doesn't even know if he has the legal authority to do it in the first place. So, whether or not they can repeal the thing he doesn't even know he can do. Now you're in like way murky.
Yeah, that's the whole excuse that Obama gave when he was talking about why he didn't get rid of Guantanamo Bay. He was like, I wanted to do it legally through the Congress, and it was like, but they set it up uncongressionally. Like, what are you talking about? It's a illegal prison. You should be able to illegally shut down an illegal prison. I don't understand why that would be tarnishing to your legacy. Silly games we play.